Hello, I'm Lucas, and this is a bit of lit, and I want to finish talking about Paradise Lost, finally. Book 12. Yeah, cool. It's mostly Michael continuing the story of what will happen to mankind. From last time in book 11, he finished off with the story of Noah. And he continues with more horrible atrocities. um, and he goes on to tell about Abraham and the Israelites being chosen, and the Pharaoh enslaving people, Moses, and the paradise of Canaan, and the Tower of Babel. Before that, um, built by Nimrod, I think. That of all the stories in the Bible and in this, uh, the Tower of Babel is the most confusing. But they're trying to reach heaven, and God doesn't like that. And I mean, that's simplifying it, of course. I'm just talking about Paradise Lost, not scripture. But yeah, anyway, goes on to talk about Nimrod, the Tower of Babel, uh, Abraham, Israel, good and evil, and how it's constantly going to be in flux, and there can still be a lot of good that will come out of the evil of Adam's choices and Eve's choices to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge, and eventually the Son of God will come back, and which it says, a second time, but he's already come to talk to Adam and Eve before. But whatever. um, he's gonna come. He's gonna be. He's gonna take the punishment of death, and then he will come back again. He will rise again, and we will go through rapture and all this stuff, and heaven and earth will be joined and all that. And in a weird way, I horribly simplified and reduced it down to bare bones. But I mean, there's not much to say. I just don't. Book 11 and 12 to me are kind of unnecessary. I mean, I guess it's good to see, for Adam at least, and Eve, for them to see what the future holds. But excuse me, I find the drama of them, it gets put on hold for the drama of humanity, and excuse me, at least from the stories in the Bible that are mentioned here. And those, that constant flux of good and evil is really interesting. But it deserves to be its own thing. I don't think it needs to be in Paradise Lost. I feel like it should really be, Paradise Lost should be, the fall of Satan. Satan comes up, Adam and Eve are around, Satan finds them, gets kicked out, comes back. Adam and Eve are warned, okay? He gets them anyway, and then they feel the shame, they get cursed out, and, have to leave. But, in book 11 and 12, just kind of talk about what's to come, and I just think that should be a different poem. It can be, just much shorter at the very least. Anyway, it's there for a reason. I don't doubt Milton as I think he's a great poet, but it detracts from the poem for me. Anyway, I would like to read the very end of the poem, because it brings everything back. It brings that human element back that hurts so good, so to speak. And this is Adam and Eve about to leave paradise after Michael has gone. They, looking back, all the eastern side beheld of paradise, so late their happy seat, waved over by that flaming brand, the gate, with dreadful faces thronged and fiery arms. Some natural tears they dropped, but wiped them soon. The world was all before them, where to choose their place of rest, and Providence their guide. They, hand in hand, with wandering steps and slow, through Eden took their solitary way. And, something about that, when it's all said and done, all the drama, the horrors that they heard about that are coming, the pain that they feel from their guilt, and everything else, it really gets me deep inside, I really feel for them, and I guess for all of mankind, because they are the original mother and father. They are the original sin. And they made a big mistake, and they lost everything. But it's not without hope. But in a way, they have to plant the seeds for the future to bloom. After they essentially lit the whole forest on fire and ruined everything, there's still hope. Spiritually, corporally, they will die before they will be forgiven, I think, because they die before Jesus comes back. But anyway, I'm going on. It's a great poem. I love it. It's not, I'm not a religious person, but I do love the story of Adam and Eve and this whole drama. I think, Genesis from the Old Testament is absolutely incredible. And this part of the story is incredibly short, but to see it expanded upon by Milton in this way is a treasure. There are parts I don't enjoy and I think don't need to be there, but overall it's an excellent expansion into the sort of psychological human drama of it. It's not scripture, so if that's your thing, obviously it's just fan fiction essentially, but yeah, I love it. And that has been Paradise Lost, and I hope to see you in another video. Thank you, bye.